Amnesty International UK is the UK part of the international amnesty movement. We're an organisation that brings people, community and activists together to fight to defend people's human rights and fight for the universal application of human rights for people around the world. Universal application, universal human rights is that they apply to every single individual, regardless of where you're from, your circumstances, that kind of thing. So I suppose we have a number of local organisations and community groups who are Amnesty affiliated. It might be from a borough or a town, and they will generally be volunteer groups that we support, and they'll do things like shaking tins, but also putting on events to raise awareness. They might lobby their local MP, that kind of thing. But ultimately, it's the membership that we get mobilised and we get out there, either protesting, letter writing, just speaking to their MPs, or just spreading information. Human rights abuses are only really possible when they happen in secret, and so by bringing them out into the public and by making sure that the people who are infringing human rights know that there are millions of people around the world who know what they're doing, don't approve of it and want to end it, then they will hopefully end it. And there's been a number, over the past 50 years, there have been numerous successes of people being released sort of following that kind of pressure. Climate change is probably the biggest issue facing, the most pressing issue facing the global community right now. And I think Amnesty's interest is that disproportionately the people who are going to be affected by the negative consequences of climate change are those who are vulnerable, on the margins of society, aren't able or allowed to represent themselves, and it's going to have a real world impact on their quality of life. Maybe even maybe even costing their lives or their livelihoods. It really is a pleasure to be able to work with an organisation like Ecotricity that we have so much in common with. Obviously, as part of the relationship between Amnesty International UK and Ecotricity, there is the Switch incentive, and we're incredibly grateful for that element of it. As a charity, we're entirely reliant on donations and partnerships of that kind, but there's almost a bigger part of the partnership, which is the ability to reach people that we wouldn't reach otherwise, and overlap who we're talking to about our different causes, and just make sure that we have a greater reach so that we can inform, enable and empower people to build a better world together.